Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle. Thank you for joining me here today. This is my first type of response video to something so stupid, I just had to respond to it. So, as you can tell from the title of the article, it is Ted Bundy wasn't special or smart. He was just white. Written by Dumber Than Rock, Ashley Edwards. Published on January 28th, 2019. So, if you didn't know, Ted Bundy was an American serial killer who killed at least 30 people. I mean, he also kidnapped them, raped them, was a burglar, etc. But he is confirmed to have killed or murdered at least 30 people. So, Netflix apparently is doing a new docu-series over Ted Bundy being portrayed by Zac Efron. So if you didn't know, Ted Bundy, in his heyday apparently, was very charismatic as well as handsome, and I guess that's why they chose Zac Efron, because apparently some people find him, handsome or something. So, the article opens up talking about what I just basically said, and how Zac Efron was basically trying to be more attractive to females, seductively taking off his shirt and passionately rips off a woman's blouse, blah blah blah, and then talk about the Netflix adaptation. Buffalo Bill, the serial killer from Silence of the Lambs, was based loosely on Bundy's supposed ability to outsmart law enforcement. Positive descriptors like good-looking, clean-cut, and of course charming are used countless times in reference to Bundy throughout conversations with the killer. So this person named Ashley, who probably has a degree in gender studies, says that the Ted Bundy of America's consciousness is a myth. He was not special, he wasn't smarter than the average person, didn't have a personality so alluring that his female victims could not help but simply go off with him. He did not have a superhuman ability to be one step ahead of the police, but what Bundy did have was the power of being a white man in a society that reveres them and has implicit faith in their abilities. Well, first of all, this is one of the dumbest sentences I've ever heard. Bundy did have was the power of being a white man in a society. Are you freaking kidding me? First of all, that's a typo. Do you not proofread your own stuff, Ashley? What university did you go to? And second of all, power of being a white man. It would be one thing if they didn't literally kill him by electric chair. I mean, it would be privilege if he got away with killing 30 people and not being executed to death. So, I mean, first of all, that's really extremely stupid. But she is making the claim that he's not smart. Well, to kill 30 people, at least 30 people, there have been more crimes attributed to him but have not been proven yet. So the smallest number you can find that he's killed is 30. That takes a special type of ingenuity, a special type of intellect to almost get away with killing 30 people. That's a lot of people. So obviously Ashley just lost that front, and she also claims he wasn't special. I would say he's kind of special, not in a good way. I mean, if you kill 30 people, you are special, I guess, for a reason. You're special because most people, as far as I know, they don't kill people, so that also automatically makes him special. So basically, we've already almost completely debunked the title here. So, this privilege, this white male privilege, gave Bundy the ability to make even the most heinous of crimes take second place to his personality. So basically she's saying, oh, he's a white male, he's got all sorts of privilege, he almost did nothing wrong. People are like, oh, he killed 30 people, whatever. So he wasn't even exceptional when compared to other American serial killers. And she talks about why his legacy, god dang it, Yahoo, with fascination and a twisted admiration rather than condemnation. You realize that females love serial killers? Some females. Most guys, they don't really care for, serial killers too much. Maybe except for your odd Buffalo Bill type of character, but... So then she goes into her own evidence, blah 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 stuff. That was not really too relevant, but she does talk about him being kind of socially isolated as a kid. He was weird in high school. He was abused as a child. He was smart enough, though, to get accepted into law school, so... He was smart to a degree. He wasn't a very good student, but he got into law school. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, not very much. Oh, here's one. He, in reference to Bundy, did not lure women with his wit, but rather tricked them by pretending to have a broken arm or pretending to be law enforcement. So, this is one of the dumbest sentences I have read in this current year of 2019, and it ain't even February yet. She says that he did not lure women with his wit. So what is the definition of wit? Wit, as a definition, is the mental sharpness or inventiveness or keen intelligence. Inventiveness. So you're telling me Ted Bundy wasn't inventive by pretending to have a broken arm to gain the trust of an isolated female, or have the inventiveness to pretend to be law enforcement? Ashley, you must have a degree in gender studies to be this stupid. Come on, girl. And yes, I will assume everyone's sex. Let's see. Even the journalist who somewhat enabled Bundy's false narrative had to admit the truth. The man's a wimp, blah blah blah. Here we are. Young white female admirers of Bundy would flock to court each day, and reporters would interview them on camera as they gushed about his good looks. Ashley claims that, he wasn't special, he wasn't charismatic, he didn't look good, he wasn't handsome. Yet she even writes that he did look very, very handsome. And then she later goes on talking about how average he was, that he rambles on kind of like what I'm doing. He got angry and belligerent, which I don't know about you, but I get angry, sometimes belligerent on occasion, not too often, but that's just like a normal human emotion that happens. They talk about more stuff like that during the time, the 70s, and here we go talking about his judge. So when he was on trial, there was a guy named Judge Edward Coward, who was 62 at the time, presiding over the trial. The judge would often refer to Bundy, who was then 33, as young man and partner. Do you realize that old people, like early 60s or even older than that, will refer to anyone who's younger than them as young? For example, near the end of my college days, I had a mentor who was literally in his early to mid-60s, and to establish a connection to the younger generation, old people, and specifically the guy I have in mind, referred to me as Buddy. Hey, buddy, how you doing today? It's a way of establishing a friendly connection to the younger population, to the younger populace. And I believe that's exactly what Judge Edward Cowart did to Bundy, because he later goes on saying, it's a tragedy to see such a total waste, I think, of humanity that I have experienced in this court. You are a bright young man. You would have made a good lawyer. I would have loved to have you practice in front of me, but you went another way, partner. Take care of yourself. I don't have any animosity to you. I want you to know that. That's just an older guy, an old senior basically, telling the younger generation, or a person of the younger generation, that you had so much potential. You could have done so many good things. And yet this article writer, Ashley, claims that, you know what, this is just another old white man trying to give this other guy more white privilege to absolve him of his crimes. I mean, it's just so stupid. So bad. She goes on, and therein lies the crux of the Bundy myth. Even when convicted of the most depraved crimes, a white man's supposed potential will supersede reality. Yeah. If he had so much white privilege, they wouldn't have put him in an electric chair in 1989 and executed him through electrocution in Florida. Specifically Florida. So, he had so much white privilege, he was executed, I guess you could say. And then she goes on talking about, white males are terrible, they get lenient sentences, which isn't true, and other items like that. So, why am I talking about this? Well, this article is really, really incredibly stupid. I didn't even know this existed because I don't even have Netflix, but maybe I'll check it out now that I'm aware of this series. It'd be kind of interesting to see what Zac Efron has been up to nowadays. I don't really know him that much, but I think he disappeared from my world. But anyways, if you want to know more about Ted Bundy, he has a Wikipedia page. Excuse me for my voice. And there's so many references talking about him being charismatic, him being smart, him being intuitive, and how to try to avoid law enforcement. Look at all these references. I know it's Wikipedia, and they can change the text in Wikipedia, but here are all the references. They have at least 400, so there's that. But I want to leave you with this. the article writer, Ashley Edwards, she says this guy has so much white male privilege, but he was executed to death. If he had so much white privilege, he would still be alive, wouldn't he? I mean, it's not like this guy named Carl Eugene Watts, who was an American serial killer as well, even though he was African American, who apparently killed at least 14 people, suspected to be 100, and he died in 2007. He died in 2007. Let's see, was the Michigan trial? I believe he died of cancer. Yeah, he died of prostate cancer on September 21st. So, if Ted Bundy had so much white male privilege, he would not have been executed. Then why can't we make the same claim for this? Does this guy have privilege? I mean, he wasn't executed. He just died of cancer in jail. I mean, claiming that Ted Bundy had white male privilege is one of the dumbest things I've heard. And it's just, I guess, one of those cultural things that we have nowadays that really shows you how far we've fallen in America and Western civilization as a whole. So, guys, I think that's pretty much it for my little article response video here. It's my first one. I hope you learned something. I hope you might be more interested in Ted Bundy now since I've kind of brought him up. And I hope you have a great day, and I just want to say thank you very much for watching.